Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today I wanted to talk about RSI subscribers, that voluntary model for subscribers that CIG has for Star Citizen and to support their video content amongst other things. There have been some updates to what they're doing for August 2019 and continuing forward, but is it worth getting a subscription for you? What is the money supposed to be used for that CIG generate with those subscriptions? So let's talk about Star Citizen subscriptions and the new perks. There are four main reasons, in my opinion, as to why someone might want to get what I refer to as an RSI subscription, the voluntary subscriptions on the RSI website for Star Citizen. 1, to support the game's development and video content. 2, to get some benefits for in-game. 3, to get more access to information like subforums, newsletters, and the Jump Point magazine. Or 4, to get early access to the PTU and builds of Star Citizen at the earliest possible stage. CIG have been updating the perks that subscribers receive and iterating on some of their video content as well recently. Based on the income figures we have from CIG's financials in 2017, it's estimated that currently, at least by me, that subscribers generate around 3 million a year plus. So around 3 million a year-ish. Obviously, they're trying to push that up. They're trying to attract new subscribers. So starting from August, there are some changes to what RSI subscribers can expect. This is taken from the August subscriber promotion post. You can find that in the description below, along with everything else that we talk about. Starting this month and moving forward, you'll see a variety of offerings from the character art team designed to personalise your Star Citizen experience in ways more distinct than a simple colour variant. The items that come between August and December 2019 are being created specifically for subscribers with an eye towards life in the persistent universe. Some of them will be helmets that they've already previewed in previous newsletters or on Star Citizen Live previously. Some of them you might have seen in the Jump Point magazine that they show each month, and they're excited to add some additional focus to in-game rewards, often referred to as Flair, with an eye towards unique offerings not found anywhere else, at least not in the immediate future. So for August Sub-Flair, they've got 2 different t-shirt packages. So normal subscribers will receive t-shirt pack 1, they're their Centurion subscribers, and the Imperator subscribers, the sort of like subscriber plus, the more expensive subscribers, get that t-shirt pack 1 and an additional t-shirt pack 2 that's basically got different t-shirts in. So the pack 1, that comes with a t-shirt saying I lost my wallet at Grimhex, breathe it in at Lawville, and Port Olisar vehicle in queue. They're very cool and very iconic, literally sort of like breaking the fourth wall a little bit, I'd say, but also being a bit in lore. It's quite cool. So in addition to that, Imperators get their 2-pack, which not literally 2-pack, that's a wrapper or something, but you also get the other pack of t-shirts with danger, spacesuit required, ECN alert, assistance needed, and ejection seats ? With a picture of a Drake Cutlass on fire. So some very cool stuff there. I actually quite like the danger spacesuit required. I have seen some knockoff versions of that made IRL. And that's one of the things with these t-shirts. I would very much like to see these made IRL. I want exclusive merch for these bad boys, which is a possibility that we might get in the future. If you aren't a subscriber and you want to acquire those packs as part of a subscription, you can still receive them if you subscribe by the 19th of August. And we'll come more on to that in a second. What does your hard-earned subscriber money pay for, though? So CIG's Disco Lando is now in charge of subscriber content. So basically he deals with the video content, and currently the sort of subscriber money goes into paying for Inside Star Citizen, which is effectively a replacement to Around the Verse. It looks at the next patch cycle for Star Citizen, or the current patch cycle, I suppose. So at the moment, 3.7 is the main focus of it, or at least it's supposed to be, where it will look at features that they're building for that, concepts, and that sort of thing. It'll also do other sort of like things where we'll look at sprint runs of things that they're currently working on, or stuff that's in a little bit further forward in the future that isn't necessarily just going to be for the next patch. They've looked at cave systems previously and sort of like micro tech, things like that, things that aren't necessarily just for 3.7 but are a little bit further out. There's also Star Citizen Live, which again is done weekly along with Inside Star Citizen, sometimes mirroring some of the content, or at least some of the stuff that they talked about in Inside Star Citizen. potentially in a bit more detail. Sometimes these Star Citizen live shows are looking at a particular discipline. So recently they looked at concept art. And sometimes these are more town hall-esque shows where they take lots and lots of questions from the community, sometimes just subscribers, or they talk to a key member of staff like Todd Pappy or other key members of staff like Aaron Roberts or whatever, and they will sort of like ask them questions about game design and important hot issues. There's also a show that they do each quarter called Pillar Talk, where they look at the sort of like latest patch in a bit more detail, just before the patch goes to release or just after it goes to release is the idea. Some of those videos and live streams take only questions from the subscribers, but a lot of them take it from both subscribers and public as well, so sometimes it's a bit of a subscriber exclusive, other times not so much. What else do you get though with an RSI subscription? Well, one of the main reasons that people will consider RSI subscriptions at the moment is early access to Star Citizen builds, specifically PTU builds. So new patches go through phases before they go live to everyone. Evocati testing, which is a closed NDA, non-disclosure agreement phase for people that have been specifically invited by CIG to participate in those tests. But then after that, typically a couple of weeks after those Evocati tests start, there's a subscriber and concierge wave that gets access to that latest build. It then goes out to waves of backers based on their participation in the issue council and the amount of PTU builds that they've participated in, that sort of stuff, but that can be a few more weeks afterwards before everyone is in, and then a few more before it goes live. There's a lot of hype generated around these times when they're sort of like trying to get the patch out, so a lot of people desperately want to get in, and that's one of the reasons that people subscribe, I suspect. There's also access to Jump Point magazine. So it's a monthly digital magazine that has lots of behind the scenes information on Star Citizen and Squadron 42, typically mirroring what's been shown off in the weekly shows with some additional content and what they've been working on recently. Lots of cool stuff in there, lots more behind the scenes, lots more detail on stuff that you don't necessarily see inside Star Citizen and the other shows. There's also the Ship of the Month. Now, this is something they've been pushing a lot more now. So August has all of the Cyclone variants available to all subs to use in the persistent universe without having to purchase them or anything. So they just get them for the month. Each month has a different ship or vehicle or collection of vehicles to use. For September, for example, the plan is to have the entire Masters of Flight series of ships to use. So this is the Avenger Titan Renegade, the Hornet Wildfire, the Saber Comet, and the Gladius Valiant. The previous month's vehicle and ship was also made available on the pledge page for subs as well, so you can purchase the previous month's Ship of the Month, and they're also adding some additions for subs when they buy those ships and vehicles, if they choose to buy them anyway. So the Ship of the Month now being sold has some like free bits and pieces. They have 1 year insurance rather than 6 months insurance, and they also come with 3 previous pieces of decorative flair that they've had for subscribers in the past, and those 3 decorative items will change each month. In the future, not August, they'll be enabling CCUs, cross-chassis upgrades, for select vehicles that aren't sort of like stock limited, that aren't hull limited, so you won't be able to do it with a 890 jump. You won't be able to CCU across to an 890 jump because they're almost certainly always going to be sold as limited hulls. But with other ships like the Mercury Star Runner or maybe the Carrack, they'd allow people to CCU over to these ships in a sub-only promotion sometimes, so there's some access to extra vehicles, extra ships, that sort of stuff if you wish to buy them outside of the game. So for August, for example, as well, the Vanguard Warden is available in the subscriber store with 1 year insurance, and Flair-wise, it gets a schematic of the Warden, a schematic of an MPUV, and a Space Cactus little piece of Flair. September's subscriber store will see all the Cyclones go on sale with a different set of Flair. And then for the month after that, October, you'll see the Renegade, the Wildfire, the Comet, and Valiant with a different set of Flair all go on sale in the subscriber store as well, and probably, or at least potentially by them, you'll be able to CCU across to them using the sub-perks. So more minor things that you get each month. You get 20,000 REC, so that's the currency for renting items in Arena Commander, not in the persistent universe, so bear that in mind. Access to subforums and areas with sort of like the Vault, which has concept and early work in progress pictures. A monthly newsletter as well, and there's early access to tickets for things like CitizenCon and other events that they do. There's also access to purchase exclusive physical merchandise and t-shirts. If you sub for at least 12 months as well, you get a 10% off voucher, which is capped at $50 maximum discount. There's actually 2 types of subscription though. So there's Centurion, which is the standard sub for $10, and then there's the Imperator, their premium subscription for $20. Imperators get some additions to their subscription beyond what I've already mentioned. They get additional flair, and as we sort of said earlier, they get the 2 t-shirt packs this month rather than just 1, with different t-shirts in the second pack. This is going to be mirrored every month. They'll get something else, some other sort of variant, something extra. Twice the amount of rec as well, so they get 40,000 rec rather than 20,000. After a new ship has been released to live, you'll get access to it for a week as well. So this will be every patch. I suspect that when the 890 jump comes out in the 3.6.x interim patch, or maybe the carrot comes out in 3.8, and some of the capital ships in the future are released, Imperator subs will skyrocket or spike for a little bit because people want to try out that ship. There are Imperator events as well, actually physical events. They're ticketed and they have, like, you know, a physical audience presence for Star Citizen Live or something like that. Though these are separate from concierge events, such as the Aegis Frankfurt event on the 24th of August. Although some of these events may be for both subs and concierge in the future, though. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. They'll talk about events more and more as they become relevant. You'll also get a 20% coupon after 12 months of sub time, rather than a 10% off one. And I believe it has to be 12 months of the Imperator sub time, not just 1 month of Imperator after 11 months of Centurion. So is it worth becoming an RSI subscriber? Well, it's sort of relative. It's certainly not essential, it's certainly not for everyone, and it's certainly not pay to win, so there's a lot of reasons to not do it, and spend your money on spaceships or something else, or hardware for your PC. Though the perks are going to be valuable to players for the different reasons I've outlined earlier. For me, the Imperator $20 one is just far too much. It's so expensive. $20 a month plus VAT, because it's excluding tax. If you've got 20% VAT like I have in the UK, that's $24 a month. As ships are purchasable in game now, and rentals are potentially coming in this month at some point, the idea of getting access to those ships using the Imperator sub-perk is just less essential. Though something like the 890 jump might not be available as a rental and might be extremely expensive in game, maybe there's reasons to get it. The additional flair is, as of yet, not been worth it. So this might change in the future. They have talked about silly star hidden helmets. We've previously had Christmas flair with the sort of like the bull skull type thing, or the whatever animal it is, with Christmas lights on, as well as the sort of hollow skull and Centurion helmet flare, which look amazing. Something I'm very much looking forward to. That should be coming by December. And that's something I'd sub to, maybe, possibly. Also, if they do something sweet with like Bounty Hunter flair, yeah, that's pretty cool as well. Disco actually made a comment on Reddit that Matador's a newt spotted for me. Thank you very much for that, buddy. Hollow helmets are still on the way. They're blocked by the need for an update to the hologram shader to make them look as cool as possible. They're still on the docket, just no ETA at the moment. Early access to Star Citizen builds might be one of the main reasons backers get a sub. You do have access to buy any previous Flair items as well that they've sold, as well as any previous jump points, the magazine there, when you sub. So literally all of that stuff is back in a catalogue. Thrifty people might have realised there's a way to maximise sub and flares, Flair and subs, if you wait to subscribe until after the sub announcement has gone out each month saying, well, this is available now to subs, and if you subscribe before the 19th or whatever, you get this item. If you sub around then you're likely to get the whatever sub items and Flair items are available, but also you'll get a month of subs, so the next month's sub items are typically you're going to be getting those as well, effectively getting 2 months of sub items for the price of one sub payment. I mean, obviously you're getting the other perks as well, and you're not going to get those other perks again, you're just going to get 1 month of perks, but you'll get 2 sets of sub Flair from 2 separate months, and then you could wait a month until the next sort of announcement and then get a sub again. And so effectively you're paying for a sub once and getting 2 sets of items or 2 sets of Flair each time. I mean, it's very thrifty, maybe not in the spirit of why some people subscribe, but it's why other people might subscribe. Also, if you really want, when you're a subscriber, you can purchase all the previous Flair, and For example, the 3 t-shirt packs are available from $3 a pack, I believe. Some of the individual clothing items from previous months are available from $1.50. Typical weapons and Flair items have been $5 a time, so they're very cheap anyway. So if you're trying to maximize Flair items anyway, you should subscribe occasionally and then buy all the Flair that you want if you wanted to do it that way at all. The fact that Centurions can actually buy the Imperator Flair for a few dollars takes away the need for a lot of people to go for that more expensive sub at the moment as well. I currently am a subscriber, an RSI subscriber, and I'm currently an Imperator subscriber, although I'm not really sure why. I should have gone for the cheaper one, probably. I do this for a mixture of insight and for the perks, but I also do it as it feels that I have more of a say on the video content that CIG create and sort of like the subscriber perks going forward. And I would personally like to see more video content. So are the subs worth the money? Well, not really, in my opinion, from a capitalist point of view, for like sort of stuff that I personally get out of it. Maybe if there's some Flair in the future that is super cool or that you want, but again, you could just subscribe in the future and just literally buy it. It does help support the project though, and some of the perks are going to be more valuable than others based on your wants and needs. With that in mind, I suspect that occasionally subbing for some people is probably a good idea, just not all the time. One of my bugbears is that I don't feel that the current amount of video content CIG puts out that's funded by sub money is appropriate for the amount that it's generating, which, as I said, is probably around $3 million plus at the moment each year. I would like to see them bring back Calling All Devs, videos on game design, mechanics, regular ship shapes, as well as deep dives, basically the elements that the old ATVs had separated into their own videos, something that I actually expected we would be getting by now. It's odd to me that they seem to be looking to generate more money from the subscriber program because they need to be providing more video content for me for that. Because that's what it's supposed to be being paid for. It's supposed to be going for, obviously, making the subscriber Flair and perks and that sort of stuff, but also that video content, also the newsletters and all that sort of stuff as well. But it's a lot of money. Give me more video content. And that's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but that's what I think. Something that's worth mentioning, at the start of August, Disco put out a thread, broken subscriber Flair info needed, getting the community to help build a list of all the subscriber Flair items from 2014 to now that have been broken due to one thing or another, and that are still broken as of 3.6.1. And they have fixed some of these in 3.6 and 3.6.1. There's a sub thread for that, basically asking people to talk about and report sub Flair items not working, and then share issue council sort of threads on that so that people can upvote them and try and reproduce them. Actually, looking at it, Flair that can be placed and works correctly, there's a lot broken with that at the moment, and that can't be placed or doesn't function correctly. So it's good that they're fixing this. Flair is going to be a lot more interesting in the future, especially when we can bring it into the persistent universe fully and place it around our hangars, ships and habs, and move it around, trade it with other players. People will fight over it, I'm sure. Moreover to that, when we have fully physicalized static habs, then I think players are going to actively want more Flair because they want to customize their habs. They want to put up their trophy displays, things like that. For me, there's a bit of a worry for the future with subscriber perks is that they could potentially try to encroach on pay-to-win territory. That hasn't happened yet, but I suppose we will have to cross that bridge and potentially be angry if and when that happens, sort of like just make sure CIG don't do that. We should see a concerted effort from CIG and Disco Lando, I suppose, to encourage more backers to become subscribers, though. That is effectively his job, to push the subscriber perks to a limit where it gets more and more people interested in becoming subscribers, but doesn't go too far into becoming essential that everyone has to be a subscriber, otherwise you're missing out. And hopefully they will increase the amount of video and live content they put out in the future as well. I am curious to know what you think. Are you an RSI subscriber? Have you previously been a subscriber and stopped? Are you considering subscribing in the future, or when some cool Flair comes out, or for other reasons? Yeah, I will, but I want this or X or Y, or I want to make sure that that subscriber money is actually getting more used or something. Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Every month we have a giveaway. For August, we are giving away a Drake Corsair bundled with an 8-inch Fire tablet and 12 months of Game Glass. Game Glass makes software allowing you to turn touchscreen devices, like tablets and mobiles, into immersive controllers for Star Citizen. But not just Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous is getting support next, and there's plans for lots more games to support this. You can use Game Glass for free, but there are paid options as well, giving you even more functionality. Please follow the links down below to get more info or to download. I'm still also shilling for NordVPN. If you're looking for a VPN, they are very cheap and have many benefits over free services. They help protect you and your privacy online, but it also makes it easier to access various websites as well. And there's Shadow 2, giving you remote access to a Windows 10 gaming PC of your very own, so that you can effectively turn any appropriate device, your smartphone, a computer, a laptop, whatever, into this much more beefy machine. Subscription cloud services, in my opinion, are the way forward, and for some are going to be very appealing instead of sort of maintaining their own PC. For all of those, please follow the links below or use the code BoredGamer to get a discount. A massive thank you for watching. Please consider liking and sharing this content, as well as pressing the bell icon to get informed when a video goes live. Consider Patreon or becoming a YouTube member too if you'd like to further support the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Please take care, and I'll see you in the verse.